When I was still living in Berlin, in the old days, in the olden days, this corner of the street that I painted was a very vibrant place. I went back a few years ago to work on a renovation of some figures I made, and I'll leave a link down below. And it had changed a lot. Oh, something's gone off, little alarm. And the whole corner had been bought out by a conglomerate, which is a polite way of saying mafia, maybe, for some people. And it was a German-Turkish conglomerate. Across the street, the wonderful music shop, Music House Barding, had been firebombed. Around the corner was a lovely pub where I used to go to sometimes because they had sun very late in the day. That had been firebombed, and it did not look like it used to when I painted this picture. The main reason for painting this picture was the pub downstairs on the corner. I used to go in there sometimes. My reason for going in there was that I was already in middle age and I wasn't, 20 anymore. And I used to go in there to cheer myself up because everybody in there was in their 70s or in their 80s, and they were drinking and smoking, playing cards, laughing. And I used to leave there and I'd feel like a young little fella, and it was a nice feeling. The landlady of the pub had it for a long time, and occasionally she'd have a daughter come down to help her. And I met both her daughters, she had two, much later. And after the conglomerate had bought the pub, they closed it. They closed the whole corner, everybody had to leave. It just became a desolate place. And on the top, they built some kind of bank or something, Chinese bank, which was weird because I thought they might. And I'd actually done a painting which featured a Chinese bank on the top, which was very weird. So anyway, so I was chatting to the daughters in a pub, which was my last favourite pub in the area, and they told me about the woman, the German woman who had had the pub for many years. Now, I'd always gone in there and found her to be not overly friendly towards me. She probably wondered what this weird guy was doing in this pub. The Germans have strange but interesting rules. So it was a smoker pub. So somebody took it to the German Constitutional Court. They said, look, if smoking is banned in all pubs, well, we're going to go out of business because our clientele are mostly smokers and they're older people, and these corner pubs, the Eckkneipen they used to call them, or still do, they'll just go out of business and everybody will be broke, So the German Constitutional Court, in its wisdom, said, well, you can decide if you want to be a smoking pub or a non-smoking pub. Anyway, I met the two daughters in another pub, and they told me this incredible story. When their mother had been thrown out of the pub she'd had for years, she hadn't taken a single thing from the pub. Nothing, not a doily or a tablecloth or a mug or anything, nothing. The only thing she'd kept was picture, a photograph of this picture, which she placed on the wall above her desk. That's all she took with her. Maybe that is the value of art, I don't know, but I was very touched by that. Well, take care of yourself and yourselves and all those you love, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now, and tschüssikowski.